Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Today, we're starting episode Persona 3. Okay, let's do it! Judging by the amount of cards that are on here, it's gonna be just as long as the Persona 4 one. Apparently I need to do this in order to get the branching path that I was told of earlier. So, we'll see, how long this goes. I don't think it's gonna take too long. Oh shit, you know what? Yeah, we'll go ahead and switch it back to hard, right? To have some sort of challenge in the boss fight. So if we fight that thing again, it's going back down to normal. So don't get your hopes up about that. Yeah, let's go ahead to Persona 3 and go from there. Preparations. Does it say who we're starting it? I'm assuming Mitsuru, right? Announcement room. Maybe Labris?
The death of everything.
Oh, hi!
But also, the beginning.
How are you still alive?
People have filled the world, yet turned it into a void. The only hope of salvation lies in ruin.
Oh, we clapping?
Did you work in a zoo? Because that's one huge pile of shit you're pushing around. So, how'd that turn out for you, Dad? It doesn't matter now that you're dead as a doornail, does it?
Okay, so you are dead.
You wanted the world destroyed, huh? Isn't that right, you worthless pest? Fine, I'll do it. This shitty world,
That doesn't make any
shitty
goddamn
people
sense.
And shitty lives will disappear, and I'll be the only thing left. After all, if the Father's fallen into darkness, then the sun must rise. Just kidding.
How'd you get out of, wherever the hell you were?
What nonsense.
Yeah.
What?
These constructs can only remain active within my red fog. Even then, they can only do so for a limited amount of time. If you have time to waste with worthless sentiment, hurry up and complete your preparations.
Ha! You've got no sense of humor. Keep up your whining and I'll have to kill you too.
Such impudence. Take them. They are your pawns.
Gross.
They're pretty well made. Fine, I've got the power I borrowed from you too. So now there's no way I could lose.
Okay, so Echoing Voice is the big bad, quote unquote, the demon dude in the sky.
Well then, time to make like a tree and turn over a new leaf or whatever.
What? Oh wow, that actually gave me a headache, instantly.
A puppet version of a puppet. I'll make sure you get the job done this time.
That's rude, calling Labris a puppet.
Now let's begin. For the sake of his world.
Oh, that's all the other ones? Well, that's creepy as all hell. May 5th afternoon. I'm at the Shadow Operatives lab.
I finished going through Labris's
no, it's Fuka.
personality module and control links.
Fuka-san's voice echoes through the machinery-lined room where she works at as the operator. It seems that it'll be a little more time until she'll be finished with her work.
I knew we could count on you.
I'm sorry that I asked you for such a big favor.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly stand by after something so important happened.
Not with all this bloodlust.
But, is it really all right for me to be doing this? Aren't you all part of some kind of police organization now?
There's no need to be concerned. Even now that we've become the Shadow Operatives, this lab belongs solely to the Kirijo group.
The Shadow Operatives. A special unit under the direct supervision of the National Police Agency, an organized to deal with supernatural cases that normal police would be unable to respond to. In other words, cases dealing with shadows. This is one of the laboratories under the management of the Shadow Operatives. The purpose of this place is mainly to analyze of evidence gathered in shadow-related cases, analysis of shadow matters for scientific understanding, and planning operations. Another objective is the maintenance, inspection, and service for anti-shadow weapons such as myself. It's either Aegis or Labris. Since I am a member of the Shadow Operatives, probably Aegis, and am classified as a weapon due to my mechanical nature, I periodically undergo maintenance at this facility. Directly after the inauguration of the Shadow Operatives, Mitsuru-san had a state-of-the-art packing case prepared to transport me. However, the slumbering within this case is my sister. The one slumbering in this case is my sister, Labris, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression unit, and our new comrade. Wait. So, you don't just like riding a seat? Normally, I guess you get packed in a case. I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all. Why? Maybe to save energy? I don't know.
I finished investigating Labris's mobility systems. All I have to do now is reboot her OS and perform some final checks.
Is it Windows Vista?
Thank you. How is she?
What year is this? Probably Windows 7, actually.
She'd sustained some heavy structural damage, so I was worried, but thankfully none were critical.
Since my sister had been forced to push herself far beyond her limit during the events of the other day, her entire body had taken serious damage. I mean, she was handling it pretty well then with all the interactions she was doing. I'm glad that she's okay. Fukasan's words caused me to sigh with
I
relief.
see. And what did you recover from her memory?
I'm sorry. I searched through it, but I found no records that would lead to finding the one behind what happened. If we want to pursue him any further, we'll have to wait for a report from intelligence. But it seems that will still take some time.
I see.
I see Mitsuru-san tighten her fist with that quiet utterance. The culprit is someone capable of manipulating the data in my sister's memory. The possibility that they work that would make that mistake of leaving a trace leading to themselves is extremely low. Even when one knows the outcome, people often feel indignant when the last bit of hope is crushed. It's understandable. Our ability to find out who kidnapped my sister has been completely stymied.
Then we have no clues to go on.
Don't be so hasty. We might get new leads from intelligence, right?
Ever since that attempted airplane hijacking, we've learned that the Public Safety Division has been making some disquieting moves.
You think?
If we don't make a move soon, there's no telling what they'll do to take advantage of the situation.
Oh, I have a feeling once you guys leave this area, they're gonna ransack the place.
Do anything.
Though Akihiko-san has known Mitsuru-san for a long time, Mitsuru-san's expressions remain stiff as he tries to console her. But that's only natural. The Shadow Operatives are still in a delicate position with regards to where we stand within the National Police Organization. As a seemingly suspicious group founded by an outsider and dealing with crimes outside the capabilities of the normal police force, we often are met with cold stares from the people who should be our fellow investigators when we were dispatched on cases. The logic of such actions eludes me, but I cannot pretend that they do not exist.
I understand how you feel, Mitsuru-san, but we must solve one problem at a time. That is why we have gathered here today.
You're right. I'm sorry. Please work with me here in reviewing what information we already know.
Mitsuru-san implores us for assistance. Our gathering here at the lab today isn't just to hear about the results of Fukasan's test on my sister. We've come to share and review the information we have, to inspect the clues as closely as possible, to get closer to the culprit as quickly as possible.
The person behind this case first stole Labris, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, while she was in transport.
Yes. The hijacking of the airplane you were on was a diversion used to conceal the theft of my sister, after which she was transported to Inaba.
And then thrown into a TV.
Correct. The hijackers were subdued and captured, but we have reason to believe that their minds were under some kind of control.
Those who hijacked the airplane and transported the case had no memory of taking part in the crime. They did not recognize one another and had nothing in common, and were all ordinary citizens with no prior criminal records. Sucks to be them. Probably gonna go to jail for a while. They did, however, all claim in their testimonies that they saw red eyes. Though their interrogations are still ongoing, it seems that it won't be long before they are released. Oh, they're not going to be released. You don't just hijack a plane and get to walk free. Even if, quote unquote, you're under mind control, right? With all these points taken into consideration, it becomes apparent that this is no ordinary crime.
The culprit waited until he arrived in Inaba to turn Labrys on and fiddle with her memory.
I guess
And then he threw her into the TV world, right?
Mitsuru might be able to pull some strings with the police force. Like, hey, you know, mind control's the thing. Maybe don't go too hard on them. But I have a feeling that would be very confusing for the people that were on board the plane.
Where one's heart and memories manifest
And, like, the
themselves.
public?
As a machine, Labrys was able to control these memories in great detail. In other words, the enemy used her in order to set a trap for us.
When we entered the television world in pursuit, we defeated her shadow and made indirect contact with the culprit.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it wasn't really a trap for you guys, huh? Because when you got there, they were like, what the hell are you doing here, right? There was more you and his crew that they were trying to go after.
That person revealed that his goal was to steal our personas by making us fight each other, which would weaken our hearts and turn our personas to shadows. Once he'd accomplished that, he would combine them all so we could have even more powerful shadows.
Everyone falls silent. The mysterious person's motive was to gather and unify shadows. This is all too similar to something that those of us gathered here will never forget.
Shuji Ikutsuki.
The culprit's speech pattern is consistent with Ikutsuki-san's mannerisms.
Really?
His inability to use a persona matches him as well.
But that's not possible.
That's right. We've confirmed Ikutsuki's death.
Or maybe there's someone out there besides Ikutsuki who still thinks the same way he did.
If so, then the world we strive for is still far
I
away.
mean, I played Persona 3 not that long ago. Yeah, I don't know. Like, even when Akutsuki did kind of like flip the bad guy switch, he didn't really talk too much like Sho. Maybe that's more of a translation thing, right? Because I know there's different there's accents in America too, different ways of saying stuff all through the country. Same thing with Japan, there's different dialects. Is that what they're trying to say? Mitsuru-san sounds as if she is an Aggie. Shuji Ikutsuki, 3 years ago, he became fascinated with the fall. I don't think it was just 3 years ago, right? I think it was like the entire time he was here, and tried to bring about the end of the world using shadows. To Mitsuru-san, he is also the adversary that robbed her of her precious father.
Yamagishi, when Labrys awakens, can you give her a summary of the case from 3 years ago? I'd like her to know what went on while she was sealed.
I understand.
Can't you just stick that data into her memory?
No, she has to go to youtube.com/ChronosPlays to watch the Let's Play.
If we did that, it would just become a piece of data to her. She needs to be told about it in order for her mind to understand what happened.
She's human through and through, huh?
Well, mentally speaking.
Also, I noticed something when I was checking her memories. The makeup of Labrys's memory field is slightly different from Aigus's. Besides the memory area that she normally accesses, there seems to be a sub-network of some sort.
She has 2 memory networks?
Oh, lucky her. She's probably good at math.
I think it was probably used to incorporate the feedback from her sibling units, but I still don't know for sure. That's why I believe it's safer to tell her in person.
All right, I'll let you tell her however you see fit. Regarding Ikutsuki, I'm pressuring staff to hurry and review the information, including the newly discovered quarantined server at Ergo Research. We never knew about the server in question before now, because it had been cut off from the group's network. It most likely has information that normally would have never left Ergo Research, such as data on top-secret experiments.
Or Akuchi's search history. Tsukushi-san could be involved in this case. Mitsuru-san's worry and irritation may be because she senses that possibility. We can all understand the pain she must be in.
By the way, what was the logic behind that whole midnight channel thing?
There is no logic in any of this.
It's still unknown.
In
but
any
we'll have
persona.
To send people to Inaba again. We're going to hold a meeting at headquarters tomorrow to discuss countermeasures.
Lunchtime? Suddenly, an alarm that notifies us of an abnormalities goes off and reverberates through the lab. Mitsuru-san quickly uses a nearby control panel to contact the staff within the facility. And she looks pissed
What's
while
going
doing
on?
it.
The surveillance system detected
Who the hell are you?
channel readings. It's currently stabilizing around a level 3 alert, located in that town of Inaba.
What?
Looks like he's shown up already. That saves us the trouble of having to puzzle this out.
Yu-san and his friends are in danger. Mitsuru-san, please give the order to dispatch us.
All right, we'll leave at once. Yamagishi, leave Labras to Kikuno and accompany us.
I understand. Well then, I leave the rest to you, Kikuno-san.
Understood. Lady Mitsuru, everyone, please be careful.
I mean, I dig the hair. One of Mitsuru-san's personal domestic assistants, or should I say maids, Kikuno-san, answers. Kikuno-san and Mitsuru-san have a stronger bond than that of any ordinary servant and master, and she is another of the shadow operatives. Her words catch my attention for some reason. Please be careful. A very trivial expression of concern for our safety. Brushing it off as common courtesy may be simple, but I sense that she may be sensing something unusual regarding the situation that awaits us there. What could be causing this unease? Does Mitsuru-san know?
Oh, hold on, I guess.
As I'm trying to decide on whether or not to look deeper into Mitsuru-san's state of mind, Fukusan gets up from her operator's chair seat and beckons me over.
What is it? If we can put Labras aside for a moment, are you going to be alright without having any maintenance done on you, I guess?
What do you mean?
I read the documents on your new equipment. At first I assumed it was referring to that large gun, but it's actually...
New equipment?
Ah, that. True. There have been no tests confirming that it is capable of being used in an actual combat situation.
What?
But we face a powerful foe this time.
Is it even possible? If even one thing were to go wrong...
Fukusan face clouds as she looks at me. I can't be confident that I'll be alright, and I'm unable to tell her a pleasant lie to calm her down. In any case, I only pray that a situation that requires me to use my new equipment never arises. Both of us are tense as we prepare to depart. What's your new thing?
Milady, a change of clothes has been laid out in your car.
Oh, thank you.
I see. Thank you.
I've also prepared Akihiko-san's favorite protein drink. And Fuka-san has been preparing a playlist suitable for a road trip in her room.
Okay.
Huh?
That will be all, Kikuno.
Very well. Pardon me.
As expected from Kikuno-san, she's amazingly considerate, as a personal assistant should be, but she can be too thoughtful at times. We learned this ourselves when she came to accept us as personal people who are precious to Mitsuru-san.
Start this over, shall we? Shadow operatives, let's mobilize.
So wait, did she put a playlist together, or did she watch Fuka put a playlist together? Thanks to Kikuno-san, the tension in the air subsides a bit, but we cannot allow our attention to wander just now. Upon completing our preparations for departure, we immediately make our way to Inaba. I do want this limo, though.
Why are we taking this car again?
Dude, have you seen this car? It's awesome. Akihiko-san grumbles from the back seat of the Shadow Opera's personal limousine. I'm not sure how to put this, but I find that his feelings are justified.
Don't question it, Akihiko. There was no time to prepare a vehicle with the same equipment.
It does stand out, but
are you gonna
I don't know. I feel like I would love just to like ride around in this with like maybe a PlayStation. Also, you should change, Akihiko.
Sure. There's a chance that we'll have to fight after all. These clothes give me the flexibility I need.
Impressive, Akihiko-san. You never change.
Literally, you never change your clothes. It's quite distressing.
Still, to think that the culprit would make a move so soon. We've completely lost the initiative.
You guys never had the initiative.
Indeed. We need to begin taking measures right now. And we hope no danger comes to Narukami and his friends.
Cut to them just fighting each other in the red mist. Mitsuru-san seems deeply agitated. During the car ride, she seemed distracted. At times, she would flip through the thick file in her lap, only to suddenly give an order to a subordinate, and then other times she would stare intently at her watch as if lost in thought. Her usual regal composure is gone.
Mitsuru-san, why don't we just ask them to cooperate with us?
I agree. They seem pretty strong.
They're all at least level 88.
No, they're still young. If I asked for their assistance, it would waste time better spent at school. Worse yet,
You know it's the holiday, right?
danger. I don't want anyone else to have to go through that anymore.
I understand how you feel, but they don't seem like the kind who'd listen. You know, we were the same way back then.
Research falls silent. It's likely not a mistake to think that the sudden spike in shadow activity this time is related to the events of a few days ago. It has become apparent to everyone that another dangerous battle is about to begin.
We have new information. Kikuno sent me a message. I tasked Kikuno with reviewing Ergo Research's quarantine server. But it seems new evidence has come to light regarding Ikutsuki, who we discussed in our earlier conversation.
You don't have to remind me.
According to the report, it seems Ikutsuki was performing an experiment on his own in the lab directly after the explosion. It's unknown if this is related to our current mission, but there was a record of a plume of dusk being used in the experiment.
A plume of dusk.
A plume of dusk, an object that blurs the line between matter and information, and is fitted into anti-shadow weapons like myself. It forms the core of our personality and modules and is what allows us to control personas, even though we are machines.
So, what are the details of this experiment? Nothing good, I bet.
Ikutsuki was...
The limousine engine suddenly roars, drowning out further conversation. It seems the road we are taking has begun to climb a steep hillside. That also does not sound good at all. As the car takes a winding road up the slope, I can look down through the window to see lush trees along the mountainside. Dots? For a moment, I thought I sensed the shadow reading. Could it have been my imagination?
Yamagishi, tell me our current location.
One moment. I'm looking it up now. We're currently in Inaba Pass. We're almost at the target coordinates.
Yeah, you guys ain't gonna make it though, right?
What is this?
It's anime.
Was that?
What's wrong?
Who the hell is driving this? Oh, wait, no, we're not in the red fog yet.
What's happening? Driver, what's going on? Answer me.
Oh, mind control?
This...
Or shadow?
During the hijacking.
Igus.
On it.
Kill the man!
A barrier.
Are we trapped?
I have a feeling that driver's gonna die. To be continued, you don't say. We got a battle with Merlion? And the honor roll, the honor student. What? You know what? Fine. Let's start with Yukari here. Filming location. Okay, so she's filming her TV thing. I'm getting a lot of anime today. Man, I'm feeling some big copyright infringement here.
You've come to fight me, Featherman!
Merlion, the evil forces have fallen. Stop here.
How dare you oppose me? Minions, get them!
Oh my... This is straight up copyright infringement. I guess they're not putty people. Okay, maybe they are putty people.
Merlion, prepare for justice.
Don't be so sure.
Magic wand, make my monster grow.
Everyone, I've had enough of this. Ultimate arrow.
Shit, I haven't seen Power Rangers. God, I don't even know how long. I know there's a ton of different kind of Power Rangers. I don't even know if it's still going, but I know there were a ton of different Power Rangers.
Perfect. What a taste.
But
Very much.
I do kind of want to watch one right now. At least the first one. Well, the first American one, because I know there's like a couple more before Japan, before they started cutting them up into the American show. That's always been a weird concept, right? It's like, hey, there's this Japanese show, and we're gonna take the fight scenes and monster scenes, cut those out, replace all the, like, non-fight scenes with, like, all these American teenager dudes, and then call it our show. What a weird concept. There was another one. Was it it was probably VR Trooper, but there was a dude. It was like a kid gets sucked into, like, cyberspace. He had, like, pizza under his bed one episode. I don't know why I remember that. Probably because I thought how disgusting that was to keep a pizza under your bed and then eat it. Anyways, yes, let's take a 10-minute break. When the director calls this out, the tension in the area dies down. I make my way to the simple tent used as our break room and take a sip of my drink. My scenes for today are done.
I'm tired.
You're on a roll, Featherpink.
Huh? Do you think so?
The directors had nothing but good things to say, too. Looks like this will have a positive effect on your main job. Speaking of your next shoot.
My main job. My real job's supposed to be studying in college. I wipe the sweat from my brow as my manager excitedly tells me about the schedule for my next gig. I'd always had an interest in fashion, so I started taking modeling jobs as a way to earn some pocket money. Smart. It's pretty tough since I've had to do things like pose in the middle of winter in just a t-shirt. Okay, but thankfully I've been able to get a steady flow of commissions now. Trying to manage both classwork and my job as a model was already hard enough when my manager applied for an audition for a live-action show without my consent, claiming that I should broaden my work horizons. When I mentioned I had practiced archery in high school, it really got their attention. It all made sense to me when I learned that Featherpink's weapon would be a bow and arrow, though. As a result, I ended up as a protector of Earth in a kids' superhero show starting this year. While my acting work makes use of different expressions and my modeling career lets me dress up in a lot of different clothing, it kinda makes me feel like I'm changing who I am too. It's insanely busy, but it's fulfilling and fun, and yet...
What's wrong? Something troubling you?
Oh, not really.
I checked my cell phone, but Mitsuru-senpai still hasn't sent me... You still call her senpai, huh? Still hasn't sent me a response. I have tomorrow off, so I emailed her earlier asking if she'd like to spend some time with me and go shopping. Oh, she's busy. She's hanging out in, well, in the Red Fog. She's been contacting me less and less recently, and when she does, it's because of shadows. I'm one of the Shadow Operatives, a group established by Mitsuru-senpai. I understand that she wants us all to be able to have normal lives, and she said that she wouldn't hesitate to ask for my help if she ever needed it, but it still seems to me that she was taking everything on by herself. That attitude doesn't satisfy me, so I forced her to add me to her team. However, unlike Aegis and the other official members, I am part of a special unit that only gathers in emergencies, trusted with immediately subduing shadows by force. What did she call it? The auxiliary staff? Something like that, anyway. It's wonderful that there have been no situations that called for us to be dispatched, and even if something like that did arise, the official Shadow Operatives are all excellent. There's no need to worry with the likes of Akihiko-senpai and Aegis around, but...
Is it really that hard to just send back a reply? It's Golden Week, for God's sake.
What's this? Don't tell me you've got some boyfriend trouble.
Well, maybe girlfriend trouble?
No, it's nothing like that.
We normally talk when we see each other, so I never doubted my friendship with her. Still, when things remain unsettled, it's unsatisfying. Maybe I have to get on her case about taking everything on all by herself again. Huh, there's something loud going on outside.
What? What's this helicopter doing here? Is there a helicopter in this shooting script?
There is now.
Huh?
As the sound gets closer, the tent's walls and roofs begin to undulate with an intense wind. When I rush outside, I see the crew all looking up and causing a commotion. When I look up, there's a black helicopter descending towards the ground, dangling a rope ladder, and the lady in the pilot seat sees me and gestures me towards the ladder. Oh! At that moment, it all becomes clear. I only know one person who would do this.
I'm glad she came, but she's making too big of a scene.
I'm completely astounded by the utter absurdity of the situation, but before I know it, I'm already running towards the ladder. To be continued. All right, so... And soon Ken's is pretty much going to be the same, right? We'll be like, I'm in school. By the way, get on the helicopter. We'll do that next time, though. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, press like below. If you're not subscribed yet, when you have my video section, check out some of the content, see if it's to your liking. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great day.